2 episodes ago, I mentioned compounds used to heal faster. Today, I am choosing to break down the most controversial one on the market, BPC 157. The internet calls it the ultimate healing peptide. Tendons, gut restoration, total physical repair. But right now, a quiet war is being fought over your biology. The medical establishment wants this buried. An FDA advisory panel is reviewing the fate of 7 specific peptides. BPC 157 is the headliner. The conflict of interest is staggering. The FDA's own scientific staff reviewed the data. Their official recommendation? 0. They recommended approving 0 of the 7 peptides for compounding. They cited severe safety gaps and lacking data. But the market does not care. It is driven by unregulated clinics and online sites making millions selling these exact compounds. They operate in a permanent gray area, pushing molecules that completely lack the rigorous human data required for real medicine. This creates a massive disconnect. The scientific consensus sees risk, while the biohacking industry sees a lucrative opportunity. The regulators are terrified of what happens when you force human biology to accelerate without knowing the long-term consequences. And caught in the middle are millions of men just looking to fix a torn rotator cuff or heal a damaged gut. The market thrives on this ambiguity. It sells certainty where none exists. But to understand why the FDA is so terrified of these compounds, you have to understand what a peptide actually is. A peptide is just a short chain of amino acids. It is a signaling molecule. It tells your body to execute a specific function. And this class of drugs has a history of terrifying the medical establishment before rewriting human health.
The year is 1921, a university research lab in Toronto. The medical consensus of the era is rigidly defined. Hormone-based extracts are considered inherently impure. They are viewed as dangerous, unpredictable, and entirely unscientific. If your diagnosis requires one of these extracts, it is effectively a death sentence. There is no hope. But a small team works in secret to isolate and purify a specific pancreatic extract.
They succeed. That purified extract becomes the first therapeutic peptide ever used in humans, insulin. It becomes the prototype for the entire drug class that BPC 157 belongs to. The foundation of modern peptide therapy. Every peptide sold today, legal or not, traces its lineage to a lab racing to purify an extract nobody trusted yet. 100 years later, we are still fighting over which ones deserve that trust. The battle has simply moved to regulatory hearing rooms. So what exactly is BPC 157 trying to do? The core science engine here is tissue repair and angiogenesis signaling. Angiogenesis is the creation of new blood vessels. It forces blood flow into tissues that normally have terrible circulation. Tissues like tendons, ligaments, and the mucosal lining of your gut. These areas take months to heal naturally. In a healthy system, this response is perfectly calibrated. But age and severe trauma slow that process to a crawl. When the body cannot naturally marshal enough resources, the tissue remains compromised forever. BPC 157 attempts to hack this clock. BPC 157 proposes to modulate these repair pathways. It acts as an aggressive contractor, directing physiological resources to the damage site. It is one of 7 facing heavy regulation. KPV, MOTS-c, TB500, DSIP, Epitalon, and Semax are all facing the exact same scrutiny. But here is the critical distinction. You must separate the theoretical mechanism from the actual clinical evidence. The evidence base for BPC 157 is massive, but it is almost entirely based on animal models, rats and mice. High-quality, peer-reviewed human trials are severely limited. The data we want simply does not exist yet. We know it accelerates healing in a lab rat. We do not know the long-term systemic effects of forced angiogenesis in humans. Forcing cellular growth pathways to turn on is dangerous. If you have an undetected tumor, angiogenesis feeds it. That is the risk. That is why the FDA scientific staff pushes back. The blind spots are too large. But even if regulators eventually clear these compounds for clinical use, there is a hidden cost. What almost nobody buying this online understands is the true nature of FDA oversight itself. True regulatory approval only covers pharmaceutical-grade compounding. It covers peptides synthesized under strict medical supervision in sterile labs. It does not cover the unregulated research chemical vials most guys are actually ordering online today. This gray market operates without oversight. There are no surprise FDA inspections. There is no standard for batch purity. It is a financial ecosystem built entirely on the desperation of men trying to heal. It profits from your pain. The internet is flooded with synthetic peptides, manufactured in overseas warehouses with zero real quality control. They print for research purposes only on the label to exploit a legal loophole. It is a gray market. Even a green light from the FDA does not make what is sitting in your fridge legitimate. Independent testing of these online suppliers routinely finds heavy metals, bacterial contamination, and severe underdosing. It does not mean your specific vial is safe. It does not mean it even contains BPC 157. You are injecting an unknown chemical sequence into your body, hoping it mimics a complex signaling molecule. You are blindly assuming the manufacturing process was flawless. With peptides, a single misaligned amino acid changes everything. It changes the mechanism. It changes the risk profile. It changes the outcome entirely. Which brings me to the protocol phase of this video. The part where I usually share my own data. There isn't one. I don't have any raw data to share. I have never used BPC 157. That is the honest position. I am not going to fake a cycle or invent a protocol just to make this video more compelling. Optimization culture demands constant experimentation. It glorifies the extreme protocol, but true authority requires restraint. It requires looking at a mechanism, weighing the human data, and choosing to wait. My gut lining is healed. My joints are functional. The risk-to-reward ratio for an unregulated tissue modifier does not make sense for me. I am not broken enough to justify the gamble. And if you are, you need a doctor, not an internet supplier. The absence of a protocol here is the point. Sometimes, doing nothing is the most advanced biological decision you can make. The regulatory battles over peptides will never end. But no matter what the law says, the science remains incomplete. This isn't the last time I will have to say, the evidence isn't there yet. The supplement industry relies on you ignoring that fact. Healing takes time. It demands structural discipline. A vial of liquid from a gray market website is not a shortcut. It is a profound, unmeasured risk. Let the clinical trials run their course. Let the evidence mature. Stay raw. Stay analytical. Protect your baseline above everything else. The rebuild is a slow process. Never compromise the foundation for an illusion of speed. I will see you in the next one.